Welcome to another video on the Northwest Oklahoma Sports Show YouTube and Spotify pages, as well as the Enid News Eagle YouTube page. Do the usual things you do on Spotify and YouTube. On Spotify, follow the Northwest Oklahoma Sports Show to receive all access coverage of Northwest Oklahoma sports. And then on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, and then push the bell for notifications. That way you know whenever I drop a video that you'll get it. For this episode, we'll be talking about the softball over the weekend, high school softball that is. So let's get right into it. So for this video, I wanted to do a softball recap because there was a lot of great action from our Northwest Oklahoma sports teams over the weekend. We'll start with the Skelter Conference Tournament where the Drummond Lady Bulldogs take down Waukomis in the Skelter Conference Tournament Finals, 9-2 Saturday at Pacer Field. Drummond's Addison Gordon was dominant in the contest. She pitched and she gave up only 4 hits, 2 runs, while striking out 5 in 7 innings of work. At the plate, she was 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Avery Digby and Ava Helmer were contributors as well, each chipping in 2 RBIs in the contest. Whenever I was out there, I was at the game watching the finals, and when I was watching it, Drummond's Addison Gordon and her defense would just get the quality outs whenever they needed to. Waukomis had scoring chances really every inning, it seemed like, and Gordon and her defense would just get the quality outs and make the quality pitches to get out of those jams and really just, secure the win over the Lady Chiefs. Whenever I talked to Drummond head coach Cody Hooper after the game, he said this is just a nice confidence boost for them for the rest of the regular season. So here's Coach Cody Hooper just talking about that and talking about just, for these next couple tournaments that they have, this win in the Skelter tournament will only just, give them that confidence boost for those tournaments.
About the confidence boost.
It really is. It's really good for us because next week we go back to the Hinton tournament where we got beat last year in the finals in like an 11-inning game or something. And then the week after that, we go to the AB Invite in Arapahoe, and there's a bunch of dogs over there. So we really needed to come out of here on a high note.
So it's like Coach Hooper said, it's a nice confidence boost for them for the rest of these tournaments coming up, and it's a nice confidence boost for them for the rest of the regular season. We're going to switch over to the Cherokee Strip tournament that took place out at Government Springs Parks in Enid. OBA Lady Trojans take the 12-7 win over Crumlin-Hillsdale on Saturday in the finals. OBA's offense was the story in the contest where Jalen McAllister had 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. Payne Esau with 2 RBIs, Kennedy Fedke with 2 doubles, Savannah Dryden with 3 RBIs. The list goes on and on and on. OBA's offense put up 5 runs in the third and 5 runs in the sixth to secure the victory over the Lady Bronx. And really the 2 points that I got from both of those tournaments on Saturday was Drummond and OBA just stayed the course and stayed winning. And then Crumlin-Hillsdale and Waukomis, the fight they showed to get back to those championship games was awesome to see. So really awesome showing from all 4 teams in Northwest Oklahoma at both of those tournaments. It was awesome competition and just awesome sportsmanship all around from all 4 teams, and it was great quality competition in Northwest Oklahoma. So now we're going to turn our attention to the Hall of Fame Festival that took place at Devon Park in Oklahoma City. Alva and Enid both went to the festival and had some games there. They each got to play each other in their final game on Saturday. And Alva came away with a 6-2 win over Enid. Parker Grimsley and Trinity Stevens were the 2 main players that gave Alva the victory on Saturday. Grimsley and Stevens were in the circle where Grimsley got the start. She gave up 3 hits on 2 runs with 2 strikeouts. Stevens came in for her in the 4th inning. She gave up 0 runs on 2 hits with 2 strikeouts. At the plate, Stevens had 2 RBIs. Grimsley had 3 RBIs. So you can see that those 2 kind of willed Alva to the victory over Enid. Enid's Cassidy Patterson and Carson Chain each had an RBI. Palmer Pasby had 2 hits, including a double. So really, this sets up the matchup for Tuesday night, where Enid travels to Alva in a non-district matchup. Will this be 2-0 for Alva? Will it be a revenge factor for Enid? We shall see. But it was a good matchup on Saturday. You saw a lot of quality pitches. You saw, Grimsley and Stevens just timely hits. And it sets up for another fantastic matchup on Tuesday at Alba High School in Alba, Oklahoma. So for my final talking point of this video, I've got to talk about the Kingfisher Yellow Jackets. Shout out the Yellow Jackets. Kingfisher goes down to the Pauls Valley tournament Friday and Saturday. On Friday, they go 1-1. They beat Ardmore, but then lose to Marlowe. Sets up this situation for them on Saturday. They have to win 5 games in a day to win the tournament. You see that all the time in slow pitch, 5, 6 games. You don't see it a whole lot in fast pitch softball. Kingfisher accomplished that feat on Saturday. First game against Western Heights, 13-1 win. Take down host Pauls Valley in the next game, 3-0. Get some revenge against Marlowe, win 9-1. Sets them up in the finals against Dixon. Now, when Kingfisher gets there, they're the losers bracket team, so they got to beat Dixon twice. And they do just that. They beat Dixon in the first game 2-0, and then the second game 4-3 to claim the Pauls Valley tournament crown. Whenever it gets to that point where you're playing so many games in a day, it takes an all-out effort and contribution from players. And everyone had their moments in the circle and at the plate, and everyone contributed as a team as well. So shout out to Kingfisher. That's a nice little comeback win, I guess you should say, in the first week of the regular season. Really, comeback wins. 5 games in 24 hours is not the greatest of situations, but they got it done, and they're the Pauls Valley tournament champions. So shout out Kingfisher Yellow Jackets. So that will do it for this softball recap video on the Northwest Oklahoma Sports Show, Spotify, YouTube, and Enid News Eagle YouTube pages. Make sure you do what you need to do on Spotify and YouTube. On YouTube, you subscribe, leave a like, turn on that bell for notifications on the YouTube pages. And then on Spotify, make sure you follow the Northwest Oklahoma Sports Show. Not only do I drop these videos every week, but I also drop the Northwest Oklahoma Sports Show podcast every Saturday morning that details what happened in the past week for the Northwest Oklahoma sports teams. But that'll do it, and until next time, Northwest Oklahoma sports fans, make sure you go out and show your support for Northwest Oklahoma sports teams.